So, I told you, as we're kind of aggregating and putting all these documents together over the years, I start to like look back at things, and I don't think that I was ever like fascinated with sports, right? I was always like fascinated with the judgment around sports. You look at like a quarterback or a defensive back; they're always making decisions in like high stakes environment and like pressure moments, and we were starting to put this plan together, and I was asked, why decision? Why are you focusing the brand around decisions? And I said, because decisions are pretty much everything, right? So think about when Katrina happened when I was in high school. Nobody wanted to leave, but then one day it clicked. It was like, hey, maybe we should leave. Like maybe this is the time we should get out of here, right? Some people left the day before, some people left a couple of days before, some people left the day of. But you're sitting around and there's like so much that's going on, and you're weighing out your decision. Should I stay or should I go? Or should I, just I'm just hunkered down. And when you think about it in the sports realm or athletics, it's not just one decision. It's always, if I make this decision here, what comes after that, right? And the funniest thing is when I was playing football and we would watch film, and I would study the film, and I would look at the down and distance and the philosophy of the OC, and I would kind of have my plan. I would say, if they do this, this is what I'm gonna do. When I see this formation here, this is how I'm gonna, attack this. And when I see this receiver line up, inside the numbers, this is how I'm gonna play this. And you had to know that they were watching film on you too. So they were saying, if he does this, then you got to do this. If he lines up here, then you got to do this, because they're watching film on you too. And that was always like the most fascinating part about like playing football. It was always like a chess match, right? And when you make a decision on the field in live action, when you make a decision to say, I'm gonna jump this route, you have to know that if you misjudge that, it's a possibility that that's the band going to play. So then you take that and you take it into entrepreneurship, brand building, business, choosing a lane to get into. You have to know that once you decide to say, okay, I'm gonna anchor myself in this, what comes after that? Are you ready for everything that comes with that? And here we are now. We're choosing to run this business, run this company inside of the decision making framework and the judgment frameworks and whatnot, right? But then we're saying we're going to anchor it into athletics. Well, to understand athletics is to know that it's complex. It is not linear. It is not the same every day. You got decisions that are happening every hour, every minute that impact things 2 years from now. So when I sit with somebody and I talk about athletics, I always ask them, are you in it for the long haul? Because one, let's just say, for instance, one athlete is a 8 to 12 year commitment, right? You meet the kid in sixth grade, you're working with them sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th through college. Every year there's a decision to be made for this athlete, which school, which district, okay? Now, which college, which division, which agent, which contract. And you're not just making like, okay, I'm gonna commit to this athlete, I'm gonna train this athlete, I'm gonna work with this athlete one time, and that's it. So I'm focusing on the decision realm and in athletics because it's challenging, it's multi-layered, it's complex, and there are so many things that I can do within this space that allows me to explore and share my range and then build out my expertise. Because just getting a kid to sign a contract or getting a school to commit to a budget, that's the easy part. It's what happens after that, right? What happens after you sign the contract? What happens after you commit to the school? What happens after you commit this money to an athlete? What happens after, right? It's always like, okay, yes, then what? And then those are where the consistent decisions and the consistent high stakes environments are going to happen, because everybody gets hyped up around the headline and the big number or the big decision, or I'm throwing my hats and I'm committing to this school, I'm committing to this team, or we just got this athlete who signed, or we just brokered this great deal. Great. Kudos to you. You accomplished step one. Now, after this step one, what are you going to do after that? And what I've learned and what I've noticed over these last years and so, nobody has a plan for when they have committed to a decision. It's okay, what happens next? Everybody wants to just make that decision, but they don't have the plan to follow through on what comes next. And that's where we want to fill the gap at, because for every decision, there's 5 to 10 different decisions that come after that, which creates more decisions. It's almost like entering into a building with, you enter through one door, and then there's hundreds of doors that you gotta choose from, and every one you choose becomes another decision or another door that you have to open. So I sat and I asked my guy and I said, have you ever looked back and said, you've been studying something for so long and you've been into something for so long, but you didn't realize it because you were so enamored and so engulfed with the headline or the topic or the surface level? Yes, I was on a team, but what I was doing on the team is where the work actually lied at.